This is Joshua Hart here, 4 seconds out. Delighted to be joined by Billy Nelson here in Belfast. Billy, it's official. Lewis Crocker will rematch Paddy Donovan, this time for the vacant IBF world title. Just your initial reactions finding out that this fight is now for the world title?
Well, we've known for a few weeks now, but you know, I'm really looking forward to it because, as everybody knows, that wasn't a real Lewis Crocker in the first fight. There was something happened to Lewis the day of the fight. He contracted something and he just wasn't himself. So, but that's not taking away from Paddy Donovan. He boxed really well that night, done what he had to do. But you'll see a much better performance for Lewis Crocker this fight.
For this fight to now be at Windsor Park as well, as Eddie said on stage just in the press conference, it's a lifelong dream for someone like Lewis. You know, came into boxing and to headline in his home city at the stadium. It really is an occasion where it's almost meant to be, isn't it? Well,
very much so. I mean, like you say, it's just round the corner of his house, but it's also a dream come true for Paddy Donovan, you know, fighting for a world title in Ireland itself. So, two of them have got a lot to live up to. You know, I think it will be a magnificent occasion.
For yourself, just as a trainer, how honoured do you feel to be a part of this event? It's the biggest all-Irish fight ever, the first all-Irish fight for a world title, and for yourself, you've been working with Lewis for a long time now, to be part of that journey and to be a part of history, is that something as a trainer that you're very proud of?
Very proud, and very proud for myself and my family. When Lewis came to me in Glasgow, Lewis wasn't in a good place at all, and in 2 years, 4 months, we've been undefeated in the ring and fighting for a world title. So I'm very, very, very proud of that young man over there. You know, and I really look forward to winning the world title on the 13th of September.
Obviously, you mentioned Lewis contracting something around the time of the fight, which affected the performance. But away from that, do you feel you need to adapt and change a few things in order to beat Paddy Donovan?
Oh, no, because 12 days before that fight, his last spar, Lewis Crocker, as I said at the press conference here, was sensational. So I just hope he doesn't contract anything again.
Billy, obviously I don't want to keep you too long, so I know you do want to get out of here soon. I just want to grab your thoughts on a few things. I know we spoke in the aftermath of Oleksandr Usyk versus Daniel Dubois too, but something that came out probably just a matter of hours after we spoke was the pre-fight party that Daniel Dubois had. Obviously, initially, what were your thoughts on it when you'd seen this news of a 70-man party on the day of the fight?
Whoever organised it needs fired. Shouldn't have been near any boxer.
Don Charles has said it was something that they'd done before the Anthony Joshua fight as well.
They try to replicate it, and it's backfired massively.
Do you feel it almost kind of takes away from Oleksandr Usyk's performance, or do you feel not necessarily the fact the party happened takes away from it, but it takes away the respect from the public that the public should be giving to Usyk, but instead of talking about how good Usyk is, we're talking about a party and something that really shouldn't be happening on a fight day?
Well, nobody actually talked about the party. Somebody leaked the information to the press, so nobody really knew about it because nobody ever mentioned a party before the AJ fight, did they? Do you ever remember anybody speaking about a party? No. So some rotten bastard out there has contacted a member of the press and notified them that there was a 70-strong gathering at Daniel's house. I must be honest, I feel sorry for Daniel, right? I felt sorry for him in the respect that he looked very uncomfortable in that footage. That shouldn't be happening in a day of fight. It shouldn't be happening any time in a professional boxer's house.
You mentioned it being leaked to the press. Well, something when you read the articles is that apparently a lot of the people invited were more friends with Daniel's dad Stan rather than it being Daniel's.
It doesn't matter if it was the king and queen. It shouldn't be happening. He's got to be focused and prepare himself mentally for the fight. No waiting. People, I mean, you don't realise. See, well, maybe not so much for a heavyweight, but for a lighter guy, people shaking your hand, and you can pick up anything. Somebody with, you know, not knowingly, a guy might have the cold and he's come up to you and breathing all over you. That could hit you straight away within hours, and that could affect your performance. Just unbelievable.
Another thing as well that came out, obviously Daniel also arrived very late to Wembley Stadium. Apparently at the doors, his dad made him come back to let some of the entourage in as well. What do you feel needs to be done for Daniel? Because it seems like just a bit of a mess, is what the public are alluding to.
What he needs is to get rid of his dad, and stay with Don Charles. Don Charles has done a great job for him. He's only been beat by the best fighter, best heavyweight on the planet twice. There's no shame in that whatsoever. But people who make decisions for him, and that's his father, should need to go and have a good look at themselves in the mirror, because they're not doing his son any good with some of the decisions they're making. Don Charles is a good decision maker. He wants what's best for that boy. I'm sure if you ask Don Charles, if you said to Don Charles, we're going to have a party on Saturday before the fight, what do you think? He'd have said no chance. I'm sure he would have. Any trainer worth a salt would have.
Just lastly as well, obviously we saw just over a month ago now Galal Yafai take on Francisco Rodriguez Jr. Now revealed that he failed a drug test, but the WBC have given him a 12-month probation period due to unintentional use, supposedly, as well as ordering an immediate rematch with Galal Yafai reinstated as the interim champion. What are your thoughts on an immediate rematch?
In what context was it unintentional?
Apparently, obviously, I'm guessing they would have done a big investigation, and that's the decision that.
How did it get in the system?
I think it's more of a question for the WBC and
That's what the WBC should be explaining then. Explain their decision making. Not just say, there's a rematch, we'll reinstate Galal Yafai. Explain the decision as to why unintentionally got in his system.
What are your views on an immediate rematch being ordered as well, especially after failing a drug test? I don't think I've really seen anything like that in my time in boxing. Obviously,
no, I've not seen anything like that either. It's crazy, isn't it? Some of the decisions, same, and no disrespect, same as the IBF after a loss, because he's lost. You know, Paddy Donovan lost the fight through his own fault. He lost the fight, and he'd been moved up for 63. When do you lose a fight and get elevated in the rankings? I've never, in all the years I've been in boxing, seen that in my life. What if you're a number 4 and 5 guy? What are you going to think? That somebody's been beat and they've moved above you to fight for the world title, vacant world title? I'd be absolutely furious if I was his manager.
For Galal as well, obviously, not just everything that's gone on with the WBC order in the rematch, but the long-term effects of a fight like that, because it was a pretty dominant beating that he took that night. Some would say...
Didn't justify 10 headbutts, 2 points deducted, a stray elbow and punched after the bell. There is rules to boxing, you know, mate. There's rules that you've got to adhere to, and he broke them on multiple occasions. So you get disqualified, you lose.
Well, Billy...
So I'm going to explain to you, right? Even though his system wasn't right because of the problem he had. He's been cut twice here with headbutts. He's been elbowed here, which closed the left eye, the leading eye. Now, I don't know if you're a boxing man or not, but a leading eye is paramount. It's called the leading eye because
it restricts the vision.
No, it's not that. This is the eye that sees the punches coming, first and foremost, more than this eye. And that elbow, when he hit the elbow, the eye closed, more or less closed. That's restricting your ability to box at your optimum, and that's due to fouling. I mean, that elbow was worthy of a disqualification in itself. So I know that the referee got knocked, and so wrongly in my eyes. But I could complain that a referee never seen that elbow, and why did he not disqualify him for that? But nobody's been answerable to these fouls. You know, it's just, it happened. We've got a rematch. I ask the question: what was your thoughts on the headbutts that you done? What about the elbow? Why didn't anybody ask the question for the elbow? And then, listen, I know for a fact the crux of the appeal was that they never heard the clacker. A clacker doesn't stop around. It only notifies the referee it's 10 seconds to go. It's the bell that rings to stop around, not the clacker. And then he hits him with 2 punches after the bell. There's no grounds to think he shouldn't have been disqualified. Andy Lee's a good friend of mine, right? I'm sure he's went home, watched the fight on many occasions and thought to himself, well, I was angry at the time. I'm less angry now because I think he rightly got disqualified. I'm positive of that.
Billy, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for your time. Really good to speak to you. Look forward to seeing you soon. Cheers.